And welcome everybody that we are now live. So, Mr. Barry.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll be dwindling on here in a few minutes. So this is kind of the we got about 4 or 5 minutes that we're going to kind of chit chat with you guys and let you know that got a lot of information. We kind of want to go through and put a little carrot out there in front of is that carrot in front of the horse, the kind of.
Yeah. That's right.
Follow you down to September 9th, right, to the press room. So you guys know as you start to come on, you might want to either underneath or over to the right is going to be a place where you can just type in, I am here. We can see who you are. And we can also see if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that. So we're just going to kind of hang out for a few more minutes. Barry was admiring Denali, which has now decided to go to sleep. By the way, Denali, come here, Nally. Come here. He was so excited because you want to come up here and say hey to everybody while they're starting to come on. You want to come back up here? Come here. He says, Barry, I do travel talk every single.
He's such a cute boy. I've seen him grow on all your Facebook posts. I just adore it. I'm like all of your clients and friends and fans. They want to hug Denali. He's so fluffy. He needs a big hug.
He is very fluffy because people just go. This is really thick fur, and what people don't realize is if I were to bathe him, which we do. But if you took a picture of him, you wouldn't think he's the same dog.
He probably looks skinny, right?
Yeah, he's all skinny and weird looking. So, hey, Louise is on, and she says hi to Barry. Planning on seeing Thursday. Oh, good. Louise is coming. Barry, Louise was on, her and her husband were on the Grand European with us back end of September of 2019. So they can give a little bit of a testimony there on the Grand European. We had a marvelous, did we not, Louise? Louise will tell you, we had a marvelous time.
That's our number one river itinerary for first-time river cruisers. So it's such a great way to see the East and the West for that 15-day cruise, both sides of Europe.
Yeah, and it was just, I don't know, I love Europe. I don't know, Barry, when's your favorite time to go to Europe?
I've traveled in the summer, I've traveled in the fall and the spring. I haven't traveled in the winter yet. I still haven't done the Christmas market, so that's on my list. I know it can be really cold then, but I'm willing to go and do it. But I think May and September are the most popular months because of the weather. It's kind of what's the old joke, the Goldilocks months. It's not too hot, not too cold, sort of like the porridge. But I've been in all the, different times. And if you go in spring and fall, just bring layers because it can warm up during the day and be cooler in the mornings and in the evenings. So just bring jackets and things you can take off. But I've traveled in all three of those seasons and had great cruises in all of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I never heard that called that porridge thing, but I love the May and September. Like I said, I've got some folks over in Switzerland right now, and every time they show me the pictures, it's like, oh my God, that weather looks amazing. Now, I have done the Christmas market. I've done the Christmas market, I hate to say it, but 3 times, and I'd do it again. And I'm a cold-natured person now. I remember this, but you're so wrapped up in what's going on. You get into buying the little earmuff things, you get into all the scarves and shopping the different little booths. And it's like, I forgot I was cold because I was so excited and the ice skating rinks. Oh my gosh. I loved it all. Oh my God. We got a lot of people coming on. So we got Mr. Frank Johnson. Mr. Frank Johnson just got back from out west. I think he did 15 days in the parks. We got Miss Deborah Weiniger on. Deborah and I did, what was it? It was a Danube, I think we did. This was many years ago. And it was around the Easter time that we were on Viking. And we have great memories of that. Let's see, who else we getting on here? We got Miss Donna Save. Oh, You already got kudos there, Barry. We love
Oh,
Viking trips. That's from Donna. Donna and those guys, they just got back from the 15 days out west and had some amazing pictures. Donna, thank you for posting all those pictures, by the way. And we have Miss Belinda. Belinda, Christmas market. She wants to know about Christmas market. Belinda was also, Barry was on the Grand European.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And
so Christmas markets are really started in Germany, a German tradition from maybe 200 years ago, 150, 200 years ago is when they got started. And they used to follow the Catholic Advent calendar very closely. Now, it's some markets open earlier now. So if a good guide is if you're going by December 1st or that last week of November, you'll see some markets, but all along the Rhine and the Main and the Danube River in cities like Cologne and Strasbourg and Vienna. It's not just Germany now. Also, Strasbourg is in France, but you can see these beautiful markets where there's booths, lots of handmade decorations, and Glühwein, which is a warm mulled wine that helps keep you warm, even though it is cold. Yep. So it's a really wonderful time of year to travel.
I never got cold over there.
Well, it's sort of, the way I think about it, Kathy, it's like if we here in the U.S., if we're traveling to New York City in the wintertime, or if we're going on a ski trip to Colorado or something like that, you know it's going to be cold, so you dress for it and you're prepared for it. It's the same thing with Christmas markets.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're about in, and I want to tell everybody, you guys know the routine. So be sure and let us know that you're over here. As Barry and I, or actually more so Barry, because I got a list of questions that I think might be on you guys' mind. So I'm going to kind of ask Barry here, and you're getting a little bit 101, some of the answers straight from Viking. But if you have a question while we're going through this, just be sure and type it in here. When we get through, we'll run back through and make sure we got all your questions. But let us know you're there. Be sure and and do me a favor, forward this on to your friends and let them know all about Viking. So, Barry, I have some questions for you. And the big one is, okay, we had 2020, 2021 is scraping back in there. So where is Viking now? I mean, what's going on with Viking? Are they sailing? Where are they sailing to?
Yeah, so we actually are sailing. We've been sailing since May. All of you know, I know Kathy does such a wonderful job in talking about Viking. So, we're small ship experts, and we do river cruising in Europe, and we do our small ship ocean cruise ships, which are 930 passengers. So that's what we started with first, was the ocean cruises. We started in May doing some cruises around the United Kingdom, and then we've been doing Bermuda and Iceland and the Greek Isles, as well as the Adriatic, Croatia, out of Malta in the Mediterranean throughout the summer. And then in July, we started doing select river cruises in Europe, and then those have ramped up as we've gone into the fall here. So we now have 6 ocean ships operating and 45 river ships that are in operation in Europe. So we're sailing on the Danube River, on the Rhine River, and 3 rivers in France and in Portugal. So our river fleet is operational, and we are cruising. I know you have some questions about our health and safety, but we are requiring full vaccinations for the time being to cruise with Viking. So just know that is a requirement to cruise with us.
Well, I would say 45 river ships, and how many ocean did you say?
We have 6. Our entire fleet, our 6 ship fleet is sailing with passengers right now.
I mean, that right there is more than any other company has back in the water right now. So that's the number one amount of ships. So in order to be the number one that has all that, of course, I'm leading into my next question. And I have read it, and I've listened to talk about the safety per call, and I think it's like way over the moon. So can you tell everybody how you're getting all those ships back in the water, and why safety is so number one for Viking?
Yeah, so by far we have the best health and safety program of any cruise lines that started. So it was, Kathy mentioned our owner's name, Mr. Torsten Hagen. He researched this topic throughout the summer of last year. How do we get our ships back in the water, even before we knew if vaccines were going to be available? So all the experts that he talked to, and then in fall, he ended up hiring as our chief medical officer, retired Vice Admiral Bono. She was the first three-star admiral in the U.S. Navy Medical Services and had just retired from the Navy in December of 2019. In March, she was hired by the state of Washington to handle their COVID response, led that through the summer and fall, and then came to work for us in November. Well, Tor and Admiral Bono worked together to spend millions of dollars. We've actually built COVID testing laboratories right on our 6 ocean ships. So we do daily testing of all passengers and all crew members, and it's a saliva-based PCR test. So it's not the nasal swab. It's just a sample that you provide by mouth in the mornings. And we are doing the same thing on our river ships, even though we don't have the actual laboratory on board the river ships. In every port of call, we have laboratory partners where the testing is being done. So that's how we're keeping our crew members safe as well as our passengers safe and able to operate throughout all of these ships that are in the waters by doing daily testing. And it's working.
Yeah, and that's what I want, the message I guess I want to send out to everybody, because obviously if you listen to the news, you get different perspectives. But to hear there's 45 ships sailing in Europe, okay, with Viking, and there's 6 in the waters, and all this testing is working. You know, everything that you're doing is absolutely working. So I can't wait until I'm looking at October the 27th. I'm going to be going into Paris, and I'm going to be doing that Normandy. I can't wait. So we'll definitely be doing that. But now I don't want to get off on my schedule here because I had all kinds of things. So safety, you know, we have to read all that protocol from and I just think Viking just went over and above to have your own. Nobody's built their own laboratories on board their ship. Nobody has, you know, petitioned and got laboratories in every single city. It's just amazing. So anyway, so we are going to have, Barry and I are going to have a big event. You guys are spreading the word for me out there, right? September the 9th. And we're hoping to bring a lot of new people in who have not done a Viking trip. Now that's just like over here to the right. I think it was, look at Belinda's comment, LOVED. That is capital space letters. Love the Grand European. It was definitely her happy place. What we want to do is get a lot of people that have not tried Viking and get them on board. So, you know, I guess, Barry, I ask you, what is it you tell people to try and convince them that Viking is the one?
Well, we offer so many different products now, but I still think a lot of first timers want to do a river cruise, right? River cruising is still growing more rapidly than any other type of cruising out there. So, you know, we are the world leaders in river cruising. We've been doing that for 24 years now. So I think the real difference with Viking is we are all about the destination. Everything you experience on board and ashore is all about the destination. We have an included tour in every port of call. We have regional cuisine as well as American classics. We're a mostly inclusive cruise line. What I think the way I like to tell people is it's just enough that if you want to add more, we have optional excursions that you can purchase through us, but you can also do self-exploration and just relax on the ships after you do the included tour. So it's up to you. All your food and beverage are included on all of our products. We have wine and beer and soft drinks included during lunch and dinner. So it's just a very mostly inclusive, great way to travel with a product that is known as really the world's leader in small ship cruising, whether it's an ocean cruise that you choose to do first with this or a river cruise.
You know, I have to say this because usually when I get on a cruise ship, and a lot of you guys have, I think everybody over here about has almost traveled with me, you know, I'm always kind of working. You know, if you're a travel agent, you're kind of always kind of working. And I remember Deborah was with me on this one. Do you remember this, Deborah? We were on the Danube and we just flown in. And I don't know, it'd been about a day or two. And my husband looked over at me and he said, "There's something different about you." And I'm going, "What do you mean?" He said, "I've never seen you so relaxed." It was like Viking just took care of so much. And I guess message I would love to tell, and you guys know I don't relax very much. Even my son tells me, "Mom, just chill," because I'm always going. But it's something about being on the river, and it's something about everything. You don't even have to unpack. You're literally on a guided tour, but you never, because your hotel floats with you.
Yeah.
And I guess I'd say if based off of the 2020 we went through, the 2021 still that we're going through some things, all of that's caused stress, anxiety. What better time to book a river cruise than now, to be just relaxed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm off my thing here again. So if we were to do that, and I don't know if it's shifted. Has it shifted any as to what the most popular sailings are right now? I know what they used to be. Has it changed any? Is it any different?
Yeah, I can tell you the three most popular. I'll tell you the top four for river cruising, and it's going to be the Grand European Tour. We've had a lot of folks that are on with us right now who've done that and talked about how awesome it is, because that does Budapest to Amsterdam, or the reverse direction, Amsterdam to Budapest. You're doing highlights like those capital cities, Vienna, Budapest, Amsterdam, also Cologne, Germany's third largest city. You're seeing castles on the Rhine. You're seeing the Wachau Valley, great vineyards along all three rivers that you're traveling on. It's just really a great all-encompassing 15-day cruise. And then I guess our next most popular are the 2 8-day cruises that kind of are each half of that. So if you have someone who wanted to do just the Rhine getaway, maybe you don't have 15 days and want to do Amsterdam to Basel, Switzerland, or reverse, that's a way to do the west part of Western Europe there. And the corresponding 8-day on the east on the Danube would be our romantic Danube, which is from Regensburg to Budapest. And that has overnights in Budapest and Vienna and in Regensburg. You can do it in either direction. So those are our top three for sure. But right after that, and it features our new Seine class ships, which are 168 passengers, is the Paris to Normandy. We have so many people who want to do, and you're headed to Paris, right? So we have so many people who want to go out to see the Normandy beaches. Maybe you had a father or an uncle that served in the armed forces during World War II, and you want to go see where they landed and came ashore during D-Day. We actually do take it to the D-Day beaches, and you can walk on Omaha Beach and bring home some sand. I'm in a hotel room right now, but back on my desk in my office, I have a vial of sand from Omaha Beach. It's just really incredible, and I always have that to look at. Remember our great American heroes.
That's right. I forgot. I am going to be on one of the smaller, because you need a smaller ship to get in and up close to Paris, right?
That's correct.
So yeah, I'm on I think it's OSFRID. Is that the name of it? But yeah, it'll be a different one. So I'm excited about that one.
My Norwegian's probably just as good as yours. It's hard for me to pronounce some of these ship names.
You combine Norwegian with Tennessee Southern, and no, it doesn't go there. So the big news, and I know you're going to talk more about this at the big event September the 9th. Did I happen to mention that to anybody, that on September the 9th we're having anyway, so September the 9th is Expedition. So, that was kind of announced when COVID was just starting. So give us a little snippet. Where are we on Expedition?
Yeah, so we announced it January 2020. That seems like 5 or 6 years ago now, even though it was just about 20 months ago, right? So it's going to start up this January. So January 2022, we will have the first of 2 ships starting cruises to the polar caps. So very beautiful ships. If you come to the event on the 9th, I'll show some images of the ships and what makes them really unique. But we'll be visiting Antarctica, and we'll also be visiting the Arctic Circle. So we offer Northern Polar Cap or Southern Polar Cap cruises. They really are, that's a growing market. There's so many new ships in the expedition market. Kathy can go through all of them for you. Where ours is really unique is the fact that it has an indoor hangar space where we have submarines, we have Zodiacs, we have a fleet of kayaks, we have rib vessels that leave the ship on a conveyor belt. Reminds me of my old time in the Marine Corps of going off the back of a ship in landing craft. So it really is incredible ships. Nothing else in the expedition market has that. So it's called the Octantis and the Polaris. Those are the 2 ships. The Octantis is actually being fitted out right now in Norway. So she's had her float out and doing some sailing and she'll be heading to take on our first passengers down in South America, and for that very first cruise, the first week of January, heading to Antarctica.
Wow. Well, that'll be exciting. So I hope everybody does, because I watched the video on that several times, and it's so innovative on some of the things that you have doing. And here's what I like about Viking: all the innovation always took the client's comfort in mind. It's like you said, usually if you're if you're going to get on a Zodiac, you're kind of balancing to get on the Zodiac and climb over it on the water, but you're getting on it on the ship, and then the Zodiac actually moves out into the water with you on it, so you never get wet.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
drying closets. Who ever heard of that? Oops, sorry. You have drying closets. And do I know how to turn it off? I'm sorry if you're calling me, but I'll call you back. Yeah, who has that? So, okay. So what about new destinations? I am excited about this one.
It's kind of like it carries on from what we were just talking about, these expedition ships. So our most exciting new destination, completely new to Viking, it's going to be happening next spring, summer, and fall. So May, June, July, August, September of 2022, the Octantis, the new expedition ship with all of that great expedition complement of items on board that we'll be able to utilize, we're bringing her to the Great Lakes. So built from the very beginning to fit through the Welland Canal locks just to the west of Niagara Falls. So we'll be doing 3 8-day itineraries throughout all of the Great Lakes throughout next summer. So you can book those now. So that's the most exciting new destination for us. It's closer to home too. So if you are looking for some place to travel to in 2022 and want to do something that is closer to home, that's a great option for you, is these Great Lake cruising on the by far the best ships that are sailing in the Great Lakes. There's only typically in a normal year about 10,000 leisure passengers on any type of cruising in the Great Lakes. So there are 378 passengers, just beautiful ships that are going to be sailing all throughout the Great Lakes next summer. Other destinations to talk about is, of course, Mississippi. We will be launching Mississippi next year too. August of 2022 is our new Mississippi River cruising, 386 passengers. We have all the way out to 2024 on sale for Viking Mississippi.
And those are new ships too, right? Those are all
brand new ship. She is. I'll show some images of her on
Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah, she's a gorgeous ship, and looks more like our ocean ship in feel of cabins and the on-room public areas. Really taken that to heart when we designed her, because we don't have to. The Mississippi River is obviously much bigger than a lot of the European rivers we travel on, and doesn't have as many locks. So we can really use a bigger ship. The bridges are higher too, so really gorgeous. And then I guess for short term, if you're looking to travel over maybe this fall or even winter or into next spring, we are bringing one of our ocean ships that was originally scheduled to travel throughout Asia and Australia early next year. Now that that's not going to be able to happen, we have some brand new cruises just announced out of the U.S. So it's one of our ocean ships, 930 passengers, the Orion. She's in Bermuda right now. So she's going to be coming to Fort Lauderdale and be doing some Caribbean cruising out of Fort Lauderdale all the way down to Barbados and back on a West Indies Explorer. She'll be doing some round trip full Panama Canal. So you'll be able to go from Fort Lauderdale to LA. So if you've ever wanted to do the full Panama Canal, we usually offer just a half Panama Canal. This is the full Panama Canal that you can do. And then in December, if you've ever wanted to cruise to Hawaii from a U.S. port of call, you can do it from LA on the Orion. She'll be going from Los Angeles to Hawaii and back. So it's a round trip LA to LA over. We have 2 sailings in December. So why not go do the Hawaiian Islands for Christmas?
Yeah, I love the Viking Orion. I did her for Alaska, but the one thing I'm going to ask you guys out there, I have done the Panama all the way through. I've done the Panama into Gatton Lake and out a couple of times, but I've only gone through one time, and that's amazing. So to hear that Viking is going to be doing that, if you guys are interested in putting a group together, put a bug in my ear on Thursday and we'll see what we can do. Also, now on the Hawaii ones, Barry, what year is that? Is that 22, 23 or?
It's actually 2021, so it's this December. So it is
wow.
coming up close. So if you want to travel this December, we have 2 sailings. It'll be from LA to Hawaii.
So I got two there's 2 destinations there that, of course, Hawaii is one, and Iceland, which we know was, sold out like, poof, it's there, it's gone. Mm-hmm. So the question is, do you kind of foresee the Hawaii thing going into 22, 23? Do you foresee that round trip Iceland thing going into 22, 23?
Sadly, I mean, they're both fantastic itineraries, but I think there's a positive to it and a negative to it. And the positive is these are cruises that we wouldn't have offered without COVID. So it's an opportunity for us to do something really unique and utilize ships in places where we could sail. And for this Hawaii cruise, places where we can sail now. I don't foresee either of those itineraries going forward because as long as conditions can improve in the long run, we will continue to offer Iceland, but it'll always be part of a longer cruise that's doing perhaps the UK or Norway, involved some way in that. You won't see just an 8-day Iceland, I would think, in the future, or this Hawaii cruise from LA and back, because we typically are taking our ships to farther, longer cruises and further out. So it's an opportunity if you do want to cruise in the short term. The Iceland cruises have about another 4 weeks on those, and they'll end in Bermuda. The last cruise there is September 17th. I'll be on that one. But these are really unique cruises that won't be offered again. Yeah.
So, hey, if they come on September 9th, they'll have that opportunity to get some special deals possibly on that. So
we do have a really great shipboard credit offer that we have running. So we'll be able to talk about that.
Yeah, we will. And then, so we how many total ships does Viking have right now?
Well, our owner, Tor, he wants to get to 100 ships, and we have 6 ocean ships sailing right now. We have in the neighborhood of 70 river ships that are available. So that's where we're at. We have the Mississippi coming. We have Octantis and Polaris coming. 2 more ocean ships joining us next year. So those will be the 3 new ships joining us next year. Is Octantis will be sailing January. We'll have Mars joining the fleet. We'll have Neptune joining the fleet. So Mars in the spring, Neptune in the fall, but 2 new ocean ships. So we'll have 8 ocean ships by around this time next year. So really incredible. And then more river ships to come in 2022 as well. Have a few more that we're adding there. And then I think
still doing the long ships.
Yes, still the long ships. Long term, you'll see our U.S. fleet grow too. Not in the short term, but that's just my prediction. No inside information, but I think the Mississippi has proven to be so popular. We would like to grow here in the U.S. eventually as well.
So I kind of want to sum this up a little bit and say, based off everything that happened, of course, 2020, everybody had to turn on a dime and do different things, and seeing what Viking is now got so many ships in the water now and plans for so many new ships, not only just new ships, but new ship designs, what better time to book the 2022 and the 2023. So you said you got some itineraries for 2024 out already?
We do. We have Viking Mississippi. We have some sailings from January to October of 2024 already on sale for that ship. And then we do have 2 world cruises that will begin sailing in December of 2023. First time I think it's ever been done. We have back-to-back world cruises, 2 ships that will be sailing about 5 days apart on the same itinerary going around the world. So that'll start in December 2023, and they're sailing into 2024.
Boy, would that not be my dream? That'd be my dream. So on September the 9th, again, I want all you guys inviting everybody to come in. And here's another reason. Oh, and I don't think I even told you this, Barry, but guess what arrived yesterday on Labor Day? But,
Oh, nice. The brand new brochures. Awesome.
so you guys remember what these are? Nobody produces these anymore. They don't happen. None of the cruise lines are doing them. And Barry was nice. These are 2023 for river and for ocean. So if you come on September 9th, you're going to get a copy of those. And we're also going to be talking. The one thing that I've been able to do is hold quite a bit of group space. And we can offer you, and they're different itineraries, and they're all throughout 22 and 23. Roger knows, Roger in group department, God bless him, he's like my child. I want to keep adding, and the reason for that is it gives you a better price, a discounted price under what you can get anywhere else. And it's still the Viking product, right, Barry?
That's right, yeah. And the beauty, Kathy locks in some wonderful air rates for you too with those. It is really a great way to book with that group.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I did booking all weekend. Guess whose? I'm sitting there going, I'm going to give Amy my file. I was like, here's the new clients. They're all mine. One that I cannot wait to do. Have you done the Australia, New Zealand one yet, Barry?
It is on my list. It's high on my list. That's one I would like to do. I think that the two ocean cruises that are top on my list are that one first, and then our British Isle cruise. Those are the ones that I would love to do next, but I don't have either planned right now, but in the future for sure.
Well, I'm out in 23. This one's in 23, but I had group space.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll just
maybe you'll come with me. Yeah. But the one thing is I can freeze the price, but I can't freeze the space. And so I started to see, some of those lower price areas go down. It's like, oh, I think I'm going to grab this. And then on top of it, with the special that we're offering, you get, not only do you get, now I've never known this to happen, Barry, that you also get the group, you could get the group discount if it's on the days, and you're going to get $250 in onboard credit. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I've never seen this either. And my time with Viking, almost 5 years, I've never seen this offered. So it's a very short-term opportunity, though. You do have to book by September 14th to receive that. So
here's what's going to happen at the on September 9th is Amy's coming with me. We both are going to have our laptops, and we are both going to have a printer. So what we can do, and there's a form as Barry's going to be going through some of these, and the presentation might last an hour or so, but we've got a couple other hours if you want to sit down, go through the books with some people. You got your planning forms there. We can go and hold everybody an option, okay, for you to be able to take back and say, yeah, okay, this is, what do? Put it under your pillow and sleep and wake up and say, yes, I want to go to Australia, New Zealand. So then we can get you taken care of right away. And we can also tell you what the availability is right then and there. Because who was it I was talking to the other day? And it's like, they're all sold out. So, and you could speak to that, Barry. You're selling fast, aren't you?
Well, 2022 is booking at an incredible rate just because so many people did not travel last year or this year. And also there were people who were booked to travel who couldn't travel. So we have a little bit of both. People who didn't travel just had an extra year of savings to go on their next trip. So maybe they're doing 2 trips next year, or they're rebooking something they had booked with us or another cruise line. And so 2022 really now is the time to book in the next month or so. I would say you don't want to go 8 weeks, 10 weeks, because there'll be less and less availability as we go along. Alaska is already almost booked solid, so 2023 is where you would look to need for that. Now, you have that group in Australia and New Zealand. Australia and New Zealand cruising is not going to happen for anyone this coming season. So your cruise for 2023, it's going to be very popular. So if you want to jump on that group with Kathy, do so soon. And you have some great groups. I looked at all of your group lineup. You have really a lot of the itineraries we talked about: Rhine Getaway, Grand European Tour, Paris to Normandy. You have 2 of my favorite. We only offer 2 cruises that sell on the Mosel River. The Mosel River is very small and beautiful, great wine, some of the best wine that's grown in the world there, white wine on the Mosel. You have Cities of Light and Paris to the Swiss Alps, both great cruises, and then some good opportunities for ocean cruising as well in the Mediterranean and other places. I'll stick around on Thursday too, while you guys, I can answer any questions. I don't have a flight until later in the evening here out of back to Atlanta where I live, and I'll answer any questions anybody has as well.
Yeah, so this is really a one-on-one time, guys, that you're not going to get. So again, I know you guys will probably be there because I love ya, but spread the word. Barry's going to be on Daytime Tri-Cities with me tomorrow, and we're going to try and shout it out. I would love to show him a good old Tennessee. I don't know. He says the most he's had at a show has been 70, right? Is that been the most?
That's the most I've had this year. So I've been doing
let's break
this
it, guys.
summer. So,
all right, we need to break that. We're going. I'm competitive. We'll break a record. Let's see if we can get 100 of them in that room. I know that the Food City down at the press room is absolutely ready to go. So we covered it a lot, Barry. Can you think of anything else other than that? We'll have more time one-on-one on Thursday.
Yeah,
so
I just want to say one thing. I know we've talked a lot about Viking. I want to talk just a little bit about Kathy. I know you all know how great she is, but I want you all to know that we recognize it too. It was really a great pleasure of mine back in the last Cruise Planners Conference to recognize Kathy as being one of the top 5 sellers of Viking Cruises. So you are booking with the best of the best when you book with Kathy.
Well, I love Viking, and you can tell I love Viking because not only you should see the bookings I personally have on Viking, and it's because I'm not going to keep going back from my own personal experience. I mean, Barry will tell you I get to pay for these too, if I didn't think it was the best and the great product. So let's see. So what we got over here, we got Belinda is screaming New Zealand, and she's screaming Australia. Are you guys booked on that? I thought you guys booked. If you haven't, we need to get you on there because it's like Barry said, that I didn't think about not going there, and that's going to go out really, really fast. We got Miss Patricia Cross on there. Patricia, you need to bring she's got a whole bunch of people, bless her heart, couldn't get on a cruise before. She's taking them out to beaches with sandals for a reunion. Well, you know what? We need to get you on Viking with that whole group. Miss Pat Jones has been on there, celebrated her anniversary on a Viking ship, I believe. And Lois, we got to get you on there. That's for sure. And then we've got Louise, everybody else on there. So we do appreciate you guys taking the time this afternoon. Again, do me a favor, if you don't mind, like this and forward it on to a bunch of you. Be sure and watch Daytime Tri-Cities in the morning. We will see you, won't we, Barry? Thursday, 1 o'clock at the press room. See you then.
See ya.